Welcome back to season 3 of Chicks on Christmas Flicks, where we can never have too many Christmas movies. We can only have not enough Christmas movies. I'm KL Brady, and I am so glad to be back with you guys today. Listen, I am so sorry. I have really gone like almost the entire summer without producing a show, which you know is totally unlike me. At least my 2 years of establishing a pattern with you guys. I have just been ridiculously underwater at work. So let me tell you a little bit about my summer. So first, at work, I was assigned to this like mega deal, like multi-billions of dollars. This is a true story. So as you can understand, for my company, that's kind of big, and you know, it was kind of all hands on deck, and so we had to do that. And then after that big assignment, and literally like, I don't know, I guess it was maybe 3 days after that assignment ended, I flew to the great state of Missouri to Branson for a writer's retreat. I will post a drone video of the place where I stayed and the authors that I went with. It's very quick, but you'll be able to see where I was. So I'll put that on Twitter at hashtag Chicks on Christmas Flicks. So everything I talk about today will be at hashtag Chicks on Christmas Flicks. If you want to go in and check it out, you'll be able to see all the fun stuff we did. But anyway, so writer's retreat. You know, my brain had been so filled with work that I finally got a chance to actually get back to my writing, which is what I really loved. So I worked on my next Christmas book, a new one, without having finished my previous one. So now I have 2 in the works right now. One is called Sincerely Santa, and the most current one is called The Nick Before Christmas. And I'm excited about both of those. 2 of my favorite movies, and I feel like I paid kind of honored my mother's Christmas crazy in both books. So really, they are really about, both books are about honoring her Christmas crazy, and you know, the love for mother and daughter and all of that great stuff. So I'm really excited about both those books. But anyway, you know, I don't talk a lot about my books. Really, you know, this is all about movies. So anyway, now that I'm off those deals, and then they put me on another deal, which was just canceled. Hallelujah. Thank you, government. So they canceled the acquisition. And so now things should go a little more smoothly in terms of time management for me throughout the rest of the year. So I'm very excited. That means I can focus on Christmas movies and Christmas books. That's going to be my life for the next few months. Christmas movies, Christmas books. So if you thought I quit, well, you don't know me very well, do you? I told you I'm not going to quit. I'm going to be here for as long as I love Christmas movies. And well, you know, I was born of a Christmas crazy mother, so you do the math, okay? So anyway, today I've got some juicy Christmas news, and then I'm going to start breaking down the 2022 lineup with some of your favorite networks and streamers, including Amazon Prime. Big movie there. Big, so big, huge, at least for me. Also, CBS, HGTV on Discovery Plus, Lifetime, It's a Wonderful Lifetime, NBC. Also, I finally watched 5 More Minutes. I didn't watch it last season because I thought it was going to be so sad and when I didn't want to cry and all this kind of stuff. So the question that you may all know the answer to, but I'm going to pose it and answer it later, is, was it as sad as I thought it was going to be? Was I right or was I wrong? You'll find out in the second half of the show. Okay, so if you haven't already, please check out episode 2 of season 3. When I talked about Merry Movie Week and Hallmark's movies and mysteries and all the good stuff that happened during Christmas and July. So check that out. You're gonna love it. And then you know how we roll. Before I get into the ho holiday headlines and the Christmas updates, I gotta do my first things first. Saint Nick shout outs. As always, at the beginning of every show, not at the end, not never, but in the beginning of every show, I like to shout out listeners. That is a tradition that I will keep forever and ever. And really, it's just, I'm thankful. That's just me being thankful. For everybody who takes time to listen to the show. I know you could be doing like 1,000 other things, and you're probably like, doing 2 things at a time at least while listening to the show, which is fine with me. I don't care. But I'm just happy that you take time to actually press play and listen to me blather on about Christmas. Can you believe Chicks on Christmas Flicks is in season 3? This is the 3rd season. And last season was truly the biggest ever in terms of growing listeners. So I'm just thankful, truly, that you guys listen to me, that you take time out of your schedule, or you squeeze me into your schedule. And like I said, and it will continue to be true until this day, that if only one person downloads this show and listens to it, I'll be doing the show for them. So that one person will feel very, very special because I will be taking time out to do the show for them. So anyway, thankfully though, there are many more people all over the globe, and you guys been keeping up over the summer. Like even in my drought, maybe there's been shows like throughout the season that you didn't get a chance to listen to that you listened to. So I'm glad you guys got caught up too. So anyway, I picked 5 listener locations to shout out. Now, again, the lengthier shout outs will begin in October, next month, when the actual Christmas season kicks off. So now I'm just gonna hit your locations. Remember, I don't know where you are, but I know where you live. Okay, number 1 on the St. Nick shout out list is San Antonio, Texas. San Antonio, yay! I've never been. I have family in Houston and Sugar Land, but I don't have, I haven't been anywhere else in Texas apart from Houston. So that's one of those places on my, because I just heard it's so wonderful there. Definitely one place I want to go. So I'm excited. Thank you for joining San Antonio. Number 2, Goshen, Indiana. Goshen, yay! Now, I was your next door neighbor for a long time when I lived in Ohio for years and years. My mother is from Ohio, and we kind of lived on that line with Indiana, that border. Well, not close to that border, but anyway, we were close enough. And so I'm excited. Thank you for joining Goshen, Indiana. Number 3, Olympia, Washington. Yay! Thank you, Olympia. I'm so glad you could join the show, and I'm so glad that whoever's in Olympia that you've taken time out of your schedule to listen. Number 4 is Rogers, Minnesota. Yay, Rogers! So excited you could join. And then number 5, Cameron, Wisconsin. Hi, Cameron. Hi, hello. Okay, so check this out. So when I went to Missouri, it was like my first trip to the middle. I really didn't know, because, I kind of know the East Coast and I know the West Coast, but I don't really know the middle of the country. So it was really neat kind of familiarizing myself with where I was going. And I was like, oh, this is where all those states are. So like Iowa, Kansas, Minnesota was like north of Missouri, I honestly, I have just never, I've always passed over the middle. I've never actually been in it. So I spent like 7 days in the middle, and now I feel like I've really got an understanding of what the middle is. So I'm excited about that. Anyway, sorry, moving on. Ho, 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 holiday headlines. Okay, I've just got a few things to talk about for this today. I'm really excited about it. Okay, so this is the big one. And I will have to really follow up on this because I pulled this news note like a couple months ago, and I don't know like what the result is. But Zoe's Extraordinary Christmas, which I told you guys was so good. Okay, that was on Roku, and it was based on the show. It was like the Christmas show from the other show, which was Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist. Now, for the life of me, I don't know who like decided to cancel this. This, to me, I just loved that show. Once I got into it, like, I don't know, it's one of those I'll probably like watch the whole series over again because it was just that good. But anyway, Zoe's Extraordinary Christmas, definitely going to become a Christmas staple in my house. We will be watching that like annually because it was so cute. But anyway, it was nominated for 2 Emmys. Told you it was good. Didn't I tell you it was good? I told you. I said it's good. Watch it. And see, now the Emmy people agreed with me. 2 Emmys. So that was exciting. Think about that. A movie on Roku, not like a, you know, like a popular network. I wouldn't even say it's, you know, it's probably more popular than I think it is, but, you know, when I think of popular streamers, you know, I probably think Netflix, right? I don't think Roku, I would equate Roku with Netflix. So that's kind of big that, you know, it was nominated for 2 Emmys on Roku. That's exciting. Anyway, so that was my first piece of news because I was so excited when I saw it. I thought I'd share my excitement with you guys. You're probably not nearly as excited as I am. I'm sorry. But I had to. I mean, it was awesome. Okay. So then the second piece of news, which is really not news, but it's kind of news, is Crown Media, which we all know as, you know, all the Hallmark channels kind of fall under Crown, right? And I remember Crown as a publisher, Crown Publisher. But, you know, I guess it's like this whole media organization. Anyway, Crown Media is transitioning its corporate name to Hallmark Media. Well, you know, that's news, but it's not news. But it's like all these years they've been Crown, and now they're actually going to be Hallmark. Hallmark is really going to be Hallmark and not Crown. So in case you didn't know, I think that's amazing. And, you know, Wanya Lucas, who's now president and CEO of Hallmark, you know, she is all about branding, you know, branding. She is all about being associated with the branding and all of this kind of stuff. So I really feel like this move is definitely something that I would see her doing, which is making sure everything is well branded, that the brand, people follow the brand, that they love the brand, that they understand the brand. So I thought that was kind of a pretty awesome thing. Especially, I'll just take a quick pivot to Hallmark Mahogany. At work, I recently was in a program, a leadership program, and they gave me and my mentor in that program, who is, you know, I don't know, she's a white woman. She's probably in her, I don't know, her 40s, mid-40s to, I don't know, she's probably older than me. So I would say maybe she's pushing 60 maybe, but I would say less than 60. If she's over 60, let me tell you, she looks fantastic for it. But anyway, but she was so amazing, like one of the most wonderful people. And so at the end of the program, she gives everybody cards. And she kind of gives everybody cards that really match their personality. Like, you never knew she was paying that much attention, but she was paying attention. And she gave me a Hallmark Mahogany card. And I thought, this is so amazing that she gave this card to me, that she recognized the power of that Hallmark Mahogany brand for African Americans. Like, to me, that spoke volumes. So she could have given me anything. She could have given me some, you know, generic whatever. But she gave me a Hallmark Mahogany card. I thought that was the most special thing. She wrote this lovely note in it and everything. And now they're doing the mahogany movies on Hallmark Movies and Mysteries, which I think is just amazing, because when I got the card and then I see the brand on TV, it's all about the brand, man. When you hear mahogany, you know what mahogany means. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I love to see this shift that Hallmark has taken, and it's more inclusive. That doesn't mean that she has not changed everything. Like, there's still a lot that is the absolute same as it always was. But there's just enough change that you can see the change, and it feels good to those who have not seen themselves reflected in Hallmark all these years. So I just want to put that out there. So to me, Wong is doing a great job with the Hallmark brand, being respectful of the brand, promoting the brand, aligning programming to the brand. Like, I feel like that's a really wonderful thing. Anyway, on to the next piece of news. Advent calendars. Let me just tell you. So every year, I swear I'm going to get an advent calendar. I don't know how many people out there like me who are like, this year I'm getting a calendar. I never have had an advent calendar. And last year I was going to get one of the wine calendars, but by the time I found it was too late. And I don't want to start an advent calendar late. I feel like I got to catch up. Especially not a wine calendar, because you got to drink 4 mini bottles of wine to catch up. And I was like, no, I'll just wait till next year to get one. So anyway, in my mail, in my Google alerts, I get hits for calendars all the time, for advent calendars. And I was like, ooh, I'm planning early this year. I'm getting one for, September, so that when it comes time to start the advent calendar, I think they start in November, right? That I'll be ready. Anyway, so I get this hit and I was like, I got to share this with you guys. So apparently the pandemic has been long, and some retailers may be hoping to erase the memories of our tough times. Now, I've seen advent calendars, but these are sexual wellness advent calendars. You heard this right. I was like, what? We're doing advent calendars for this? So funny. But also, it might be of interest to some of people out there listening. I know you got your husbands, you got to keep things spicy. So now you can do the advent calendar spicy for your advent calendar. Okay, so these calendars include, and I'm not going to go through every one, but I think there were like 13 on the list. I will be posting a link to the list later after I post the show. So after you hear this, you can go to Chicks on Christmas Flicks, hashtag Chicks on Christmas Flicks, and you will be able to find the link to the sexual wellness advent calendars. So let me give you a few examples of what's in the advent calendars. Okay, so at Love Honey, they have 7-day lingerie advent calendars. So apparently it's 7 days of different kinds of lingerie, and they even come in plus size. Hello. And then they have 12 and 14 day countdowns for him and her. That include things like naughty toys and other stuff. Yeah. Advent calendars. Okay, so then at Easy Toys, they have the Naughty and Nice box, which for the 22. So apparently they started selling them in 2021, but for the 2022 season, they have the Champagne and Gold edition that launches on September 12th, and it includes cosmetics and toys themed around the 5 senses. Now think about what your 5 senses are. Right? And then think about, what you're going to end up getting in these boxes. It's very interesting, right? Okay. Now on Nasty Gal, you see where we're going here? 12 Days of Sexmas. I don't think I need to say any more there. 12 Days of Sexmas. All right. And then on Ann Summers, I don't know who she is. It's Summers. I can't remember if it's Summers, Sommers, or Summers, Summers. But she's got 2 advent calendars. One is 12 Nights of Pleasure, and the other one is 12 Nights of Indulgence advent calendars. Okay? So, just saying, if this piques your interest even a little bit, I thought I had to share this. It was a public service announcement. But I will post the link again. Hashtag Chicks on Christmas Flicks if you want to see it. But in addition to this calendar, I am also going to post the links to the top 17 family-friendly advent calendars for the 2022 season. So you will see both those links. So whichever one you're interested in, feel free to click. Okay? All right. Now, next up on my news is a bucket list items. Guys, I need you all to mark this down. Okay? Hallmark Experience is coming to a town near you, hopefully near you. Well, they're spread out enough that you should be able to get to one of them, okay? Now, there's these events, right? And they're called Enchant Holiday Events. And these are fully lit Christmas villages and mazes that they're going to have in 8 cities. And these are going to be like walk-through Christmas towns, fully immersive experiences that include things like you would see in a Hallmark movie, right? The ice skating, the Santa's villages, and the Enchant brings 4 million lights. 4 million lights. They bill themselves as the largest holiday themed light event. Okay? Now, the big one is going to be, I'll say big one. The first one on the list that they've really given a lot of detail around is Nashville, Tennessee, which will be held at the First Horizon Ballpark. Okay? It is going to illuminate Music City this holiday season, and it will be in Nashville in November. Okay? You will have the chance to see a huge, ginormous light display, and you'll be able to see this 10-acre display, which has a 100-foot tall tree, an ice skating trail, and a village marketplace with crafts, gifts, activities, and so much more. And of course, you can go see Santa. Now, they're doing this at not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 8 locations. And so in addition to Nashville, you will also find it at Washington, D.C. at Nationals Park, which I'm getting the idea that it's going to be at ballparks. Like those ballparks that are sitting idle during the off season. Now they're going to have the Enchant Christmas event. Like, I hope this becomes an annual thing. I am definitely going to go. I am going to take pictures and video, and I am going to post it on Twitter so you guys can see Chicks on Christmas Flicks down at the Washington National Park, where I will be going. But they also going to have it at St. Petersburg, Florida at Tropicana Field, Dallas, Texas at Fair Park, Las Vegas, Nevada at Las Vegas Ballpark, Scottsdale, Arizona at Salt River Fields, Sacramento, California at Sutter Health Park, and last but not least is San Jose, California at PayPal Park. So these events open on November 25th, but you can buy tickets as early as September 15th. And if you want more information on these events, listen, I don't care. If you guys go to any of them, what I just want, please, is just to post a picture or two on Twitter and make sure that you link to at Chicks on Christmas Flicks so that I can see the pictures. Because I want to see the pictures. I'm just saying, I want to see the pictures. You must tag us. Must tag the show. Gotta tag the show. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna hashtag it and make sure that you guys can see what I see at this event. Because to me, this is like a bucket list event, right? This is like one of those things you cannot be Chicks on Christmas Flicks and then not go to the Hallmark movie, enchant display. Like, you can't do that. But like, that would just be wrong. So I'm for sure going. I'm going to be safe, but I'm going. Okay. The last piece of news I have for today before I get into the Christmas movie news, which I'm so excited about. Some good stuff coming up. Okay. I've seen a bunch of articles, guys, as I did some research, getting prepared for the show today. Warning everyone, and so I want to warn you guys, shop early as possible. Here's the reason they say you need to shop early, because we are still experiencing supply chain issues, and I can tell you this is true. Even in my job, they're still having problems like getting chips and things like that. Now, these chips go into computers. These chips go into TVs. They go into games. They go into everything. So, a lot of electronic suppliers are going to be short on chips. And if short on chips, there's going to be a low supply. And if there's a low supply, that means the demand will exceed supply, which means the first people out to get their stuff are going to get it, and the people that wait till the last minute may not get what they want until after Christmas. So if it's something you're burning to give away before Christmas or for Christmas, get out there early and order it. No, you may not get the big, but what are the Black Friday deals going to really look like this year anyway? I don't know. Last year I could definitely see a difference between the 2019 Black Friday and the 2020 and 2021 Black Fridays. I could see the difference in what was available and the kind of deals you could get. So, just saying, if you find a decent price you could tolerate, buy the thing. Don't wait for the thing. Just buy the thing while you have it. Because as it gets closer to Christmas, you may not have it. Okay? My second and last public service announcement for the day. Okay. Now, it is time for Christmas movie news. I am so happy about this season. Guys, I am thrilled about this season. Let me tell you why. I feel seen and I feel loved. And anyone who loves Christmas movies like I do feels the same. See, I was in love with Christmas rom-com movies way before they became a thing, right? I remember when you could pretty much only find them on 2 or 3 channels, right? It'd be Lifetime, Hallmark, and then on the 25 Days of Christmas, which used to be ABC Family, but now is on Freeform, right? I've even bought, Christmas in Boston. Do you remember that? That was an ABC Family one, right? I have that on DVD now, so I can watch it when I want to, but it used to be the only time you could see it during the Christmas season, in the middle of the freaking night, at midnight. They would show the rom-coms on the 25 Days of Christmas channel. Anyway, my point is, I know this because I was watching movies way back when. I was hunting these movies down way back when, okay? Back when they didn't have month-long, 2-month-long, 3-month-long marathons, okay? Where they played Christmas movies all day, every day. And I have to tell you, I am astounded by the crazy number of networks and streamers that have joined in the party this year, it's like everybody's getting the fever. They're like, wait a minute, Hallmark had an idea about these Christmas movies, and they were kind of smart. And they saw all those ratings that they were getting, and they were like, they want a piece of the pie. And so now everybody's in it. It's just incredible this year. So I don't know if you guys follow her, but if you don't, you should. Follow Sleepy Kitty Paw on Twitter. The last number I saw from her, there was like 150-ish movies. I don't know, maybe more by now. But between, network, streamers, cable, DVD releases, just an astounding number of Christmas movies are getting made this year. So, and the ones that have come across, like, I do my Google alerts. So the ones that have come across mine, there's probably more than this. The ones that have come across mine include HBO Max, which is new to the slate this year. They've not done. They're going to do like 4 Christmas movies, 4 or 5. CBS, last year they did 3. I think this year they're coming with 3. ABC. Now they've like I said, ABC Family was ABC Family. They used to do more, right? I think this is on ABC, like the main network channel. And so I think they have like 1 or 2, maybe. Discovery Plus last year, they had the Food Network one, right? This year they've got HGTV, 4. Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4. BET, Black stations have gotten in on the thing, and they're doing more and more every year. The Hallmarks, of course, we know the Hallmarks are always in the game. TV1, VH1 last year. I was like, come on, man, that's the video music channel. They're not supposed to be Christmas. They like 4 or 5 Christmas. One of which was on my favorites list, actually. Adventures in Christmasing with Kim Field. But now they're coming out with I don't know, I think it's like 4 or 5 more, something like that this year. Comedy Central, they had the one kind of spoof movie, and now they're coming out with another one. I can't remember the name of it, but anyway, we're gonna get into that over the next couple of weeks. We're gonna talk go to network, from network to network, and kind of check out what's coming out. AMC Plus is coming out with one. I think they came out with one last year. I wasn't crazy about that one, but they're coming out with another one. Ion, Up TV, All Favorites, Apple Plus. I want to say they had 1 or 2. They've got all the Peanuts, Charlie Brown shows. So I was watching Charlie Brown Christmas, of course. Halloween, Christmas, Thanksgiving, whatever. All that stuff sitting on Apple Plus, they will always get my business for that. Disney Plus is coming out with some new ones, including Tim Allen, who did Santa Claus movies, which I absolutely love. So apparently there's like a series now that he's going to be doing in the upcoming Christmas year. So that's awesome. Tubi had, I want to say 1 or 2 at least. I remember Most Wanted Santa from Tubi last year, which was so good. And then, and I think maybe there was 1 or 2 more that were like exclusive releases on Tubi that were not, movies from other networks. They were just re-showing. And everything I saw on Tubi was good. Roku, of course, we know Zoe's Extraordinary Christmas that I love from that one. Well, I think they're coming out with something else this year. Freevee, Amazon, was the Amazon streamer. They're coming out with something this year. Hulu has, they've got 1 here, 1 there, whatever. I think I want to say they've got like 4 or 5 coming out this season. It's just crazy. So many, many more. So guys, here's what I want to tell you. Just buckle your seatbelt. And I'm going to let you know, there is no way in God's green earth with my schedule, even though I do expect it to be lighter over the coming months, there's no way in the world that my schedule is going to allow me to watch all of these movies. I am really going to have to pick and choose. I am really going to have to do my homework about what is going to hold my attention. So when I give you a list this year, Like, I am really going to be a lot more rigorous around my standards and what I recommend, because there's so much stuff out there that I really want you guys to spend your time watching the stuff that's worth watching, okay? So when you hear me give a recommendation this year, just know I've done research, I've watched trailers if they're available. Like, I have really gone into it, and I'm recommending it. And probably I've seen it, and I will only recommend things that I really truly love. DVR worthy is going to be the name of this season. Like, if it's DVR worthy, even though I don't have a lot of space on my DVR, I'm telling you right now, my DVR is like 85% full. This is true. Like, I wanted to upgrade it to one where I could hold a little more space, but then they make you get like all new hardware, and you have to get it installed, and it was kind of a pain to get the people like an appointment to come here. Anyway, I won't bore you with that. Just say that if I say it's DVR worthy, even though it might not land on my DVR because I don't have a lot of space, if I feel like I would want to put it on there, or if I delete something to put something on there, you know it's good, okay? So anyway, it looks like all the networks, though, are going to be keeping their official lists and schedules under wraps again. Now, before Christmas, movies became a thing. A lot of you guys out there know. Like, the list will come out at like August, early September, and like we'd be planning like our viewing already like in early September. Now, they don't even come out till like the end of September, early October. So what am I looking forward to this year? So what I anticipate from this season, right? Hallmark's going to be coming out of the gate early, right? They're going to have their Fall into Love to Fall Harvest programming and their autumn programming. I want to say that it ends around October 16th, right? I think the last Fall Harvest movie is around October 16th, right? Which is a clue for when Countdown to Christmas is going to start, right? I kind of feel like they could go into Countdown to Christmas on the 17th or the 8th, but they're probably going to they may wait a couple days, whatever. So, now what I will say is this. Last year I was thinking Hallmark was going to be first, and then Lifetime didn't announce it. I just happen to be, because I'm one of those people that kind of looks ahead 2 weeks on certain channels like Lifetime, especially around Christmas. And I just happened to see they had movies on before Hallmark did. And I was watching Christmas movies like that whole week of the 15th. Because Lifetime actually came out first, but they didn't make any announcements, and then the marathon didn't begin, right? So they just showed like a movie or two in the evenings, like between 6 and 10, maybe they showed like 3 or 4 movies, and then they went back to their regular programming, all before they got to their actual 24/7 lineup. So what I would say is those two will probably be in the running for the early start. Most networks are not going to start like releasing their movies until November, right? The 11th, I know some movies are coming out. Some may come out a little earlier than the 11th, but I think the 11th is like kind of the big weekend when like the floodgates open and everybody goes whoosh and all the movies come out. Now, what I will say is Hallmark is set to show A Jolly Good Christmas on October 22nd. Now, I think that's going to be the first new movie of their season, but that does not mean they will not show older movies earlier, okay? So think about this. Fall Harvest ends on the 16th. That's 6 days between the 6 days until October 22nd. When the actual first movie comes out. So I anticipate that between the 17th and the 21st that we're going to see repeats, right? And that the first new movie comes out on the 22nd for Hallmark. And then we'll see what all the other stations do. All the other channels do come the come the end of this month. they're going to release the full list of all the Christmas movies you can watch. And at that point, we'll really know what the schedule is going to look like. But this is what I'm anticipating for at least the early part of the season. That week between the 16th and the 22nd, I think there's going to be repeats playing. So just be prepared. And trust me, I'm going to be looking ahead and keeping my eyes out. And if I see any hint of Christmas movies coming out before the 22nd, you guys are going to know what's coming and when it's coming, because I'm going to look ahead. All right. Now, let me get into some of the network news of what's coming out on networks that I'm really kind of excited about. Some of my most anticipated watches. Okay. All right. The first one I have is from Amazon Prime. And let me tell you about this one. It has one of my favorite stars like ever in this movie. And this is why I'm so excited about it. It is starring Eddie Murphy. Yes. Eddie Murphy is set to star in a Christmas movie. Christmas on Candy Cane Lane. New holiday comedy for Prime Video. Now, this movie is said to reunite the team behind his hit romantic comedy, Boomerang. I have to tell you guys, when Boomerang came out, I loved that movie so much. I don't know if you guys remember it. It's an oldie, but it's a goodie. Here's what I remember. Halle Berry, right? David Allen Greer. Who else was in that movie? Martin Lawrence, I think, was in that movie. Robin Givens and Halle Berry. Robin Givens and Halle Berry were the female leads in that movie. And I have to say, it was the first, maybe it wasn't the first time, right? It was the first time it struck me that this is a romantic comedy set in this posh business world. I remember Grace Jones was in the movie too. She was phenomenally weird. It was just so awesome. If you haven't seen it, now don't confuse the movie with the series, right? Boomerang, the movie, the original movie with Eddie Murphy, is definitely one to watch. I loved it. I watched that movie so many times. It was, like I said, it was one of my favorites. And I remember distinctly, this was when Boyz II Men, if you know Boyz II Men and End of the Road, that song was in this movie. There's the soundtrack is just phenomenal too. But anyway, funny, romantic, heartstring puller, perfect ending. It was just, and I was like, wow, Black people in a romantic comedy set in this posh business setting, right? There was no slaves, no no civil rights movement, no nothing. It was just awesome. It was really awesome to see people just living normal lives, doing normal stuff, falling in love and falling out of love and falling in love again and all that kind of stuff. So it was kind of awesome for me. So the fact that he is kind of using that team to do Candy Cane Lane, I can't wait to see this movie. I hope, Eddie, don't let me down. Don't let me down, Eddie. Especially if you're using the same team. Reginald Hudlin, who I think was the director of the Boomerang movie, will direct this film. And it's going to be produced by Amazon Studios, Imagine Entertainment, and Eddie Murphy Productions. So, I am super excited about this one coming from Amazon Prime. So this is the big one for me from Amazon Prime. There may be others, but that's the big one for me. Okay. So then number 2 on my network list today, and I think I got 5 or 6 networks today, right? So number 2 on my network list is Netflix, right? Netflix got 2 big ones coming out this year for Christmas that I have been waiting for since last year when I heard about them. The first one is Falling for Christmas. Now, it is coming to Netflix November 10th, and it stars Lindsay Lohan. Lindsay Lohan, you know, I love A Second Chance comeback story. And so for her, she's been through so much personally in her life, that I'm really excited to see her come back, you know, in her sweet spot to me, which was romantic comedies. So anyway, she plays a newly engaged heiress that gets amnesia, and I think it's amnesia, right? At a ski resort after an accident at a ski resort, and so you know it's one of those memory things, right? And you fall in love with the setting that you're in. Now we've seen that done, but we haven't seen Netflix do it, and and we certainly haven't seen Lindsay do it at Netflix. So I'm excited. Then Christmas with You. Now this one stars another one of my rom-com favorites. Like, I watched everything he did in terms of rom-coms, and like he was the big 90s rom-com dude. Freddie Prinze Jr. is coming back to do a rom-com for Netflix called Christmas with You. Isn't that exciting? So he stars with Aimee Garcia. I think I've heard her name and seen her face, but I don't know what she's been in before. But this is what it's about. Feeling a career burnout, pop star Angelina escapes to grant a young fan's wish in a small town, where she not only finds the inspiration to revitalize her career, but also a true shot at love. Awesome. So I can't wait to see that. You know, I love Freddie Prinze. To me, few people do rom-coms as well as he does, right? I love him in a rom-com. So, and I haven't seen him in years, so I'll be happy to see him back in the saddle again. All right. So that was 2 out of, I think, 6 on my network list today. Number 3 on my network list today is NBC. Why am I calling out NBC? I'm calling out NBC because they are featuring one of my favorite people on the planet. Not just a performer, entertainer, singer, but people. She's one of my favorite people on the planet. Dolly Parton's Mountain Magic Christmas is slated to be on NBC. And apparently, like, it's supposed to show the making of a TV special. So Dolly, like, learns valuable lessons while being visited by, like, 3 wise men, right? Which is kind of cool. You know, it'll be interesting to see. But the cast on this is just phenomenal, right? They've got Jimmy Fallon. I just heard, this is why it came up actually in my email, that Jimmy Fallon, Willie Nelson, Billy Ray Cyrus, Jimmy Allen, not Fallon, Zach Williams, Miley Cyrus, and her dad are going to be there. Tom Everett Scott, who I have always loved from way back in That Thing You Do. That's why I loved him first from that movie, but then he's played in so many other things. And he's done a few Hallmark movies as well that I love. Christmas Connection, I remember, and then he did one for Hallmark Movies and Mysteries where he was kind of like a widower. I can't remember, but you know what I'm talking about. Anna Gasteyer, and I don't know who that is. And then Angel Parker. Okay. So anyway, that is coming for this season. But I was just so excited. 1, to see that she's doing a special. 2, that it's going to be on network. You know, last year she did her Christmas stuff with Netflix. So I am glad to see it's going to be on NBC, and that, you know, it's probably going to get a lot of coverage and a lot of play because everybody can get NBC. Remember the time everybody couldn't get NBC, but now everybody can get NBC. Even when you don't have like cable, you can get NBC. So that's kind of awesome. All right. So then number 4 on my network list, just a few things that came out. I'm sure I'll be going into this network again, but a few things came out. I want to say Friday or Thursday of last week that I was like, ooh, gotta talk about it on the show. So It's a Wonderful Lifetime 2022 slate came out with some. So they've got like 4 movies they were highlighting in their upcoming slate. One is a Santa Bootcamp. And so I'm really kind of excited to see that one. Say Kinney. I can't remember her last name. Her first name. Her last name is Kinney. And I think she was in Love on the Sidelines. Yes, that movie. Love on the Sidelines, which was like a football movie, right? You remember that? Okay, so that girl is going to be in Santa Bootcamp. Now, I haven't seen her in another Hallmark movie, but it seems like she's found her way to to Lifetime, so she'll be on Santa Bootcamp. And so I'm really excited. Like, there's just a lot of great people in the cast. I think Rita Moreno, who we all know, longtime boss diva actress, is going to be on there. So I'm really excited to see her. So it'll be interesting to see that movie. I'm really kind of excited about that one. Then Reindeer Games Homecoming is another one. So Sarah Drew, who we know from like Christmas in Austria, I think. She's going back. She's done a few movies for Lifetime, and so she's done a few for Hallmark, but now she's going back to Lifetime. Sometimes they even have movies on both channels, which we'll get into in a minute. A brilliant, competitive crossword puzzle-loving biology teacher in Vermont who recently lost her father, beloved fire chief, and the heart of the town's holiday fundraising tradition, the Reindeer Games. Every year since his death, she competes with her dad's former team, a group of colorful retired firefighters, to win the games and keep his tradition alive. Her world is rocked when fading Hollywood star and Mac's high school crush Chase Weston comes home for Christmas to visit his pregnant sister and nephew, and is begrudgingly roped into participating in the games. And we know how this is going to go. Second chance romance. You kind of gotta love a second chance romance for a Christmas movie, right? So that's just kind of a high level. There's more, but I'm not going to go into it because I've said enough. Reindeer Games Homecoming, Sarah Drew, really should be enough to put that on your list. Then the next one is A Christmas Spark, executive produced by Toni Braxton, who is beloved at Lifetime, clearly, because she's done a few movies for them, and now she is executive producing. So here's the fun thing though. Jane Seymour is in this. Yep. Jane Seymour. You know who Jane is, right? You know Jane is, she's starring in it. So like, you know what I love about this is that it's not like a Gen X, it's not a millennial or a Generation Z movie, right? That we have someone who is going to be older. And Jane is, of course, gorgeous and beautiful and everything. So she is going to be in this movie. And what I found also exciting was Rhonda Baraka. Yes, so Rhonda Baraka. You will know her from writing a ton of Christmas movies. Now, she is the writer behind, I think a writer and maybe a director behind the Chandler series. If you don't know the Chandler movies from Up TV, you're really just behind. Also, she wrote one of my most favorite Christmas movies, and it is DVR worthy. Christmas on the Coast, one of my most favorite Christmas movies. So she's just done a lot. I think she was one of the writers on Miracle in Motor City, or a writer and a director. Just so many great Christmas movies. Anyway, A Christmas Spark follows a widow, Seymour, who has lost her zest for life, given up on ever finding love again. She reluctantly takes on a job of directing the town's Christmas pageant and soon finds herself falling in love with the leading man, the town's most eligible bachelor. So that's interesting. All right, now the next two I'm really excited about because at least one is follow-on from, I think, last year's movie. Remember Kirk did like the Gospel Christmas last year? Kirk Franklin. This year he's doing The Night Before Christmas. And I don't know that this is true, but it sounded like it. In that same setting, that same town of the Christmas movie took place in, like they're creating a new Christmas story in that same kind of setting, town, characters, the same characters, right? So I'm kind of excited to see that. And I say that because it looks like they've got a few like people coming back who were involved in the first film that are going to be involved in the second one, including Tracy Twinkie Bird. Now, background, right? But she's like in the Clark Sisters and like one of the best gospel groups ever, like ever, male, female, whatever. The Clark Sisters were the best. And so she is coming back to this as well. And so she was in the last one that he did. So I'm kind of, it would be so cool, like if they just brought a new story into that same setting. I'm hoping that's what happens. But anyway, so I'm so excited about that one. Kirk Franklin's The Night Before Christmas. And then, last but not least, is Merry Swissmas. Now, this one stars Jodie Sweetin. And so, now this movie kicks off on November 5th. It also stars Tim Rosen from Schitt's Creek. And then this is what the movie's about. So Alex, who is Sweetin, has wonderful Christmas memories with her best friend, Michaela Lily Davies, until Beth started dating Alex's ex. Ooh, that's nasty. Because she has missed the last few Christmases with families due to her demanding job as an architect, Alex is excited to spend the holidays with her mother, who is opening an inn in Switzerland. Well, you kind of get the feeling there's going to be a lot of running into maybe exes and maybe new loves and all that kind of stuff. But that's kind of all they give us, right? All right, so number 5 on my list for the networks. This show is CBS. Now, CBS last year had 3 movies, and this year they are also having 3 movies. So I'm really excited about that. And so they have Fit for Christmas, who has, what's her name? Amanda Klutz and Paul Green. Now, we know Paul from Hallmark movies, obviously, right? And then we know Amanda Klutz. I know Amanda Klutz from like feature films, right? She's done feature films. So I'm really kind of excited to see this one. But the movie tells a story of a Christmas-obsessed fitness instructor who falls in love with a businessman who wants to buy the community center she works at. Okay? Then there's a couple of other movies. One, Sheryl Crow. Hello. Sheryl Crow is executive producing When Christmas Was Young, and she's writing the title song for that movie. That is going to be about a music manager who falls in love with a singer-songwriter. And then Must Love Christmas, about a romance novelist caught in a love triangle. Sounds like 3 really good ones on the CBS slate. I'm really excited to see those. Then HGTV, 4 Christmas movies. You heard me. The DIY channel. It has 4 Christmas movies. Okay, so there are 2 kind of decorating movies, and 2 food-related movies. That's how I'm bucketing them. Okay. So, one is A Christmas Open House, which stars, if you have ever watched The Bold Type, I have watched The Bold Type on Hulu. I didn't watch it I think it was on Freeform. I didn't watch it on Freeform, but I've seen it on, but I've definitely seen it on Hulu. So Katie Stevens plays Atlanta, a stager, Melissa Norwood, who teams up with her old high school crush to sell her mom's house in her small hometown. The 2 end up working around the clock to update the house before a pair of potential buyers view it on Christmas Eve. So you can kind of guess what's going to happen there. Okay, the second one is Designing Christmas with Jessica. Oh my gosh, I don't know how to pronounce her last name. I remember her though. She played in a Hallmark movie, Jessica Szor, Szor. She played in the Lucky movie. I don't know. She looked like she was kind of mixed race and had these light green eyes. And I remember she played in this movie where she didn't have any luck, and then all of a sudden she had all this luck. She got a new apartment, she got this new job, but then all while she was having all this luck, she alienated herself from her best friends, right? It was so good. I can't remember the name of it, but anyway, she's coming back to star in this movie with Marco Grazzini, who was in a Lifetime movie last year. He was in the first or second Lifetime movie from last year. I can't remember the name. But anyway, so they star as the co-host of a home renovation show called House Sweet Home, and they have powerful on-screen chemistry, even though they're not a couple in real life. And in real life, Jessica, who plays Stella, is engaged to someone else. However, when the owners of the home set to be featured in their holiday special pull out at the last minute, Stella and Pablo will be forced to face their feelings as they work together to renovate Stella's family's Victorian home instead. With her wedding approaching quickly. Now, so she's got to work. Sally, I understand this situation. But so with her wedding approaching quickly and her attraction to Pablo continuing to grow, she'll turn to her mentor Freddie, played by Love It or List It Far, for advice. Now, that's going to be good. I love It or List It. I don't know if you guys have watched that one. That's a good show. So that's going on my list, right? Because I love everything about that. That's gonna go on my list. A Gingerbread Christmas. So this is kind of cool. So Tia Sarkar, I don't know if you guys remember her. She's played in so many Lifetime movies. It's not even funny. But last year she wasn't in any Lifetime movie, and I was like, what happened to Tia? Well, she's reappeared now on HDTV in this Gingerbread Christmas movie. So when her career plan derails, Hazel Stanley, Tia, heads home to help her father with his struggling bakery. Once there, she decides to enter a gingerbread baking competition hosted by the local celebrity Mark Clemens, Food Network star Goldman. Food Network. Hello. To win enough money to save her family's business. Along the way, she falls for a single dad / contractor, James Meadows, Mark Ben David, who has been helping her father out in his spare time. As Christmas approaches, James and Hazel grow closer, even as misunderstandings keep them apart. That sounds like a perfect Christmas movie, right? And then last but not least is One Delicious Christmas. So 2 designing kind of movies, HGTV, and 2 food kind of shows, which is kind of Food Network-ish, right? So the last one, One Delicious Christmas, Gilmore Girls and Switched at Birth star Vanessa Moreno plays Abby Richmond, who inherited the foodie destination Haven Restaurant and Inn from her parents. Running the inn and restaurant is Abby's whole life. So when a famous food critic, Flay, appears, tears her family's menu apart, an investor forces her to bring in a new chef, Preston Weaver, Alex Malari Jr. When Preston begins changing the menu, he and Abby clash, but as they work together to create a holiday dinner that will wow the investors, the business so desperately needs, sparks begin to fly between the chef and the restaurant owner. So, all 4 of the HGTV and Food Network holiday movies will be available on the Discovery Plus starting November 11th. I told you guys that was going to be a big weekend. November 11th is going to be the big weekend that they're going to be like releasing all kinds of stuff. All right. If you can believe it, number 6, Discovery Plus is going to do it for me today. That was the end of what I'm going to do today. Hello. So I'm just so excited, guys. So I'm getting back into the groove. So bear with me. Please bear with me. I know we didn't take a break today. I kind of went straight through, but that's okay. I hope you guys forgive me today. Next week we will break. I know that I told you I was going to tell you about 5 more minutes, but honestly, my brain hurts. I have talked too much today. So I'm going to talk about 5 more minutes in the next episode. So stay tuned for that. And I got so much more coming in the next episode. So make sure you join me for more holiday news that I'm going to highlight. And I'm going to talk about my next set of networks, which is what's coming up on the Hallmarks, HBO Max, TV One, VH1, Comedy Central, and AMC Plus. So I'm really, really excited about that one. In addition, in the coming weeks, I am going to try and get in a Diversity Day show. Something I think I've done every year. There is so much diversity in this year's slate. I mean, it's astounding to me when I think about not just a few years ago that Diversity Day would have been like a diversity 15 minutes. Right? It would have been over so fast because there was just not a lot. Where, for me, Diversity Day is where a diverse character plays in one of the lead roles, right? So, of course, we've had a lot of like secondary characters. But lead characters, man, the slate is insane. So I want to get in a Diversity Day show because I want you to put them on your watch list, and I want to make sure that you catch the really good ones. So I'm going to do my best to do some really good research to make sure that I pick out the best ones for you to watch in the upcoming season. And then hopefully I can coax Brittany from Hallmark Enthusiast 247 not only to talk finally about the Christmas in July shows that I know I'm so behind on, you guys don't have to tell me, but also to preview our most anticipated movies once the list comes out at the end of September. So I'm hoping that before the end of September, we'll do the Christmas in July recap, because we haven't done that yet. And then, like in the first week or so of October, that we'll do that. The list will come out and we'll do our, as we have done, I think, so once or twice, right? We've done once last season. We did our most anticipated, movies for the November, and then our most anticipated movies for December. We kind of did a halftime. Took a halftime break. We did before and after halftime. So I'm really hoping that we get to do that again this year. And Brittany has reached out to me. If you're listening, Brittany, I'm going to reach out to you soon. She reached out to me on Instagram, and I've just been ridiculously, insanely busy and not able to think. But I'm getting back to it, so I'm going to get those things on the schedule. So please make sure you stay tuned. And I've got a few more like kind of some little surprises coming up this season. And I'm hoping to bring on one very, 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 very special guest. Very special to me, anyway. We'll see how my schedule and the begging goes. But if I'm successful, we will at least have one really super special guest that we'll be able to talk to and interview for the show. Anyway, thank you so much to my music and show editor, Will B. He created all the custom music for this show. He is at Wildcard Music, and you can find his IG page in the show notes. Until next time, remember, at Chicks on Christmas Flicks, we can never have too many Christmas movies. We can only have not enough Christmas movies. Please don't forget to subscribe, leave a review on your favorite platform, and tell your Christmas movie loving friends about the show. Where can you find us? I'm so happy you asked. We're on all the podcast platforms: Amazon, Apple, Spotify, Google, iHeartRadio, and many, many more. You can see the links in the show notes. Please follow on Twitter at Chicks on Christmas Flicks and on IG at Chicks on Christmas Flicks with all X's. Chicks on Xmas Flicks. Please. Thank you for listening, and I am going to see you guys next week. Yes, I am. I'll be back next weekend.